Headlines is sponsored by Wonder Cement. एक perfect शुरुआत.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Kokrajhar in Assam today to participate in the celebrations marking the historic Bodo Agreement. Ahead of his visit, Prime Minister tweets that Bodo Agreement marks the start of a new era of peace and progress. As Delhi gets ready for voting tomorrow, Election Commission makes elaborate arrangements to ensure hassle-free voting. Transport facility for persons with disabilities, provision of ramp and volunteers for voters with disabilities and senior citizens, creche for women with small children along with other facilities to be provided at the polling stations. Supreme Court to hear Centre's appeal today challenging Delhi High Court's verdict in Nirbhaya case. Earlier, Delhi High Court dismissed Centre's plea against the trial court's order, staying the execution of the 4 death row convicts in the case. Death toll due to coronavirus outbreak rises to 638 globally. Japan donates $10 million to WHO funds to support countries with weak health systems. In India, all 645 evacuees from Wuhan test negative. White House says at the direction of President Trump, the U.S. conducted a counter-terrorism operation in Yemen that successfully eliminated Qasim al-Rimi, founder and the leader of Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. He was deputy to Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri.
Headlines was sponsored by Wonder Cement. एक perfect शुरुआत.
Good morning, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the bulletin. Our top story first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be visiting Kokrajhar in Assam today to participate in the celebrations marking the historic Bodo Agreement. Prime Minister will also address the gathering to hail the historic Bodo Agreement by including the leading stakeholders under one framework. The Prime Minister is, in fact, also looking forward to the function, as is evident from his tweet, in which he also said that the successful signing of the Bodo Accord not only brings to an end a problem that has been persisting for decades, but also marks the start of a new era of peace and progress.
Committed to ensure continuous development of the northeastern states, Centre facilitated 2 crucial agreements in recent weeks: the Bodo Accord and the agreement to settle the members of Bru-Riang tribe in Tripura. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Kokrajhar in Assam on Friday to participate in the celebrations of signing of the Bodo Agreement. The visit comes a week after the central government signed a peace pact with several Bodo militant groups and a student body. More than 4 lakh people from BT80 districts and all over Assam are expected to attend the program. A cultural program of ethnic groups of Assam is being organized by the state government to showcase the diversity of the state. Prime Minister will also address the gathering to hail the historic Bodo Agreement signed in January by including the leading stakeholders under one framework.
हमारे आमंत्रण को स्वीकार करते हुए मोदी जी यहाँ आएंगे और सारा असम की जनता मोदी जी को स्वागत करेंगे। बोडो इलाका की विकास के लिए जो समझौता किया गया है, असम के लिए जो समझौता किया गया है, तो इसलिए साफ जाहिर है कि नई पीढ़ियों को एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत से जोड़ने का ये सुनहरा मौका है।
The people of Assam are really happy after this formation of this BTR and after the signing of the Bodo Accord. Now this primarily will give a major push to the development in this region, as major universities will come over here. A separate industrial policy will be designed for this BTR region, so that the industries which are planning to invest over here in the BTR region gets major incentives, and so that the people of BTR region get a major job employment opportunities as well. So that's the reason why the youngsters over here are really happy when Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrives here on 7th of February in a major Thanksgiving ceremony organized in Kokrajhar.
The youth of Kokrajhar are excited at the prospects of having the Prime Minister amidst them. The local youth of the area also took out a motorcycle rally in order to greet the Prime Minister to the region.
हम लोग आशा करता हूँ क्योंकि जो अभी बीटीआर में जो लेकर एकड़ किया था और एकड़ को इम्प्लीमेंट करने मिल जाने से तो हम लोग जो यूथ है और यूथ लोगों का सब सॉल्व ही होगा.
सही तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो जाए तो हमारा यूथ का जो भी होप एंड एस्पिरेशन ये शायद फुलफिल होगा.
The agreement was signed in New Delhi on 27th January 2020. Prime Minister termed the day as a very special day for India and said that the accord will lead to a transformative result for Bodo people, ushering in a new dawn of peace, harmony and togetherness. Accordingly, over 1,615 cadres of different factions of NDFB surrendered their arms and joined the mainstream within 2 days of signing of the agreement. A special package of 1,500 crore rupees is earmarked for the development of the region. People of Assam are very happy at the developments.
सबसे ज़्यादा खुश है हम लोग वो प्रधानमंत्री हमारे साथ हमारे साथ आएगा इसीलिए बहुत खुश है हम लोग
सब सेलिब्रेशन मूड में है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी हमारे यहाँ आ रहे हैं थर्ड बोडो अकॉर्ड को सेलिब्रेट करने के लिए.
हमें विश्वास है कि मोदी जी हमारे जो बोडो लोगों की जो प्रॉब्लम्स है बोडो समुदाय की वो जल्द से जल्द वो ठीक कर देंगे.
The agreement is in accordance with the Prime Minister's vision of Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas and commitment towards a holistic development of the Northeast, ending 5-decade-old Bodo crisis. In his interaction with the nation through the Man Ki Baat program on the Republic Day, the Prime Minister gave a clarion call to all those on the path of violence to return to the mainstream and lay down arms. This development is being termed as a big step taken by the centre to usher in era of peace and stability in the Northeast. With inputs from Arun Sharma and Neeraj Singh in Kokrajhar, Assam, DD India.
And people in Kokrajhar lighted earthen lamps in their houses to welcome the Prime Minister. Our correspondent Arun Sharma spoke to people who are looking forward to witness the historic Bodo agreement.
27th January was a historic day for the Bodo people in Assam, and ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Kokrajhar, entire Kokrajhar has been lit with these diyas. Now it is a Diwali for the people, or primarily the Bodo people over here. You can see that all across the Kokrajhar and the streets of Kokrajhar, people have lit the diyas. People have also lit the diyas as far as their houses are concerned. Outside their houses, they are lighting the diyas as of now. So you can get a sense that there is a Diwali ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit after this historic Bodo peace agreement or accord that was signed on 27th of January. मैं आपसे समझना चाहूँगा कि ये दिया आप जो जला रहे हैं किस लिए जला रहे हैं, क्या कारण है?
नरेंद्र मोदी के लिए बना रहे हम लोग दीपावली.
ये समझना चाहिए कि आपको लगता है कि अब विकास की बयार आएगी यहाँ पे और ये जो बीटीआर जो बनाया जाएगा बोडो वासियों के लिए, तो आपको बहुत फायदा होने जा रहा है आगे जाते हुए.
हाँ, हम लोग का वो फायदा है, वही फायदा है हम लोग का बीटीआर के लिए, थोड़ा खुशी के लिए हम लोग अच्छा लगता है. हम लोग का मन में खुश लग रहा है हम लोग,
क्योंकि काफी लंबे समय से बीटीआर की एक तरह से मांग थी, बोडो वासियों की बहुत दिक्कतें हो रही थी, क्राइसिस था. अब आप खुश है, एक तरह से पीस हो गई, शांति और चैन और अमन हो गए.
हम लोग का शांति है, खुश है हम लोग.
So for the Bodo people, very innocent people, they're saying that yes, we are very happy because the historic Bodo peace agreement has been signed, and that's the reason they're celebrating Diwali in this year 2020, which is historic because of the Bodo peace agreement that was signed on 27th of January, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit is scheduled on 7th of February, and ahead of that, these Bodo people, or primarily the people of Kokrajhar, are celebrating this moment, this historic moment as well. With camera person Kumar Datta, Arun Sharma, Doordarshan News, Kokrajhar.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Thursday replied to the motion of thanks in Lok Sabha. The Prime Minister not only acknowledged the criticism mounted by the opposition, but also demolished it in a point-by-point rebuttal. Prime Minister spoke elaborately on CAA and squarely blamed Congress for spreading misinformation and fear amongst the Muslims of the country. Once again reassuring the people of the country, Prime Minister said that CAA does not take away citizenship of any citizen. Speaking on the situation in Jammu and Kashmir post the abrogation of Article 370, Prime Minister said that this move was important to expedite the process of peace and development. Later replying to Rajya Sabha, the Prime Minister also touched upon the issue of farmer welfare. He reiterated that the centre remains committed towards increased income of the farmers. On the issue of economy, Prime Minister Modi said that fundamentals of the Indian economy were strong and there was no reason for being despondent. He also put the statistics related to GST and FDI on the floor of the House and said that investors across the globe have reiterated faith in India. Prime Minister also dismissed the claims of the opposition on the employment front. The high-pitched campaigning for Delhi Assembly elections came to a close last evening. The polling to 70-member assembly will be held tomorrow. Nearly 1.46 crore voters will exercise their franchise to elect a 70-member assembly. Counting of votes will be taken up on the 11th of February. Meanwhile, elaborate security arrangements have been put in place for smooth conduct of assembly polls with deployment of Central Armed Forces, Delhi Police personnel and Home Guards. As Delhi elections will be held tomorrow, citizens should know about the basic facilities made available at the polling stations. Provision for ramp and volunteers for voters with disability and senior citizens, a help desk for voters, drinking water, provision of creche for women with small children, medical kit for emergency use, separate queue for men and women, proper signage for layout of polling station, besides transport facility for persons with disabilities will be provided. This has been done to make it convenient for voters to exercise their most important right and make elections inclusive and participative. The Election Commission will be taking steps to ensure hassle-free voting for Divyangjan. It has extended some facilities at every polling booth like ramp and wheelchair, pick and drop facility, sign language for electors with speech and hearing disability, special volunteers to assist persons with disabilities and priority access. Election Commission of India has also come up with Persons with Disability app to provide election-related information with a single touch in keeping with the slogan of "No voter to be left behind." And if we look at the voter turnout of last 3 elections in Delhi, we can see that in 2015, the voter turnout stood at 67.12%, which is more than the voter turnout in 2013 and in 2008. The voter turnout in 2013 was 65%. In 2015, Aam Aadmi Party had won 67 seats, while the BJP won 3 seats. In 2013, BJP had won 31 seats in Delhi elections, while Congress won 8 seats. And Aam Aadmi Party had won 28 seats. The Supreme Court will hear today the centre's appeal challenging the Delhi High Court's verdict in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. The High Court had on Wednesday dismissed centre's plea against the trial court's order staying the execution of the 4 death row convicts in the case. Appearing for centre, Additional Solicitor General K.M. Nataraj on Thursday told the Apex Court that jail authorities are unable to execute the convicts in the case despite the fact that their review petitions have been dismissed. He also mentioned that curative petitions and mercy pleas of 3 of them have also been rejected. Meanwhile, a Delhi court has sought response of the 4 death row convicts in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case on an application seeking issuance of fresh death warrants against them. The court sought the convicts' response by this evening on an application moved on Thursday by Tihar jail authorities for the fresh death warrants. The trial court had on January 31st stayed till further order the execution of the 4 convicts in the Nirbhaya case. And the Supreme Court will today hear the petition seeking direction to the central government for laying down comprehensive guidelines relating to restrictions for holding protests causing obstruction of public places. The petitions filed by BJP leader Nand Kishore Garg and Amit Sahni also sought appropriate directions to the centre and others for removal of protesters from Shaheen Bagh near Kalindi Kunj. The petitioner said that people in Shaheen Bagh are illegally protesting against Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 by blocking the common and public road connecting Delhi and Noida. CBI has arrested Gopal Krishna Madhav, an officer of Delhi government, in a case related to corruption. The officer was reportedly arrested in a trap case when money was being exchanged. Gopal Krishna Madhav is the OSD of Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia.
चला है कि एक ऑफिसर जो आजकल जीएसटी में तैनात है और मेरे यहाँ ओएसडी भी रहे हैं मेरे 5 साल, उनको 2 लाख रुपए की रिश्वत लेते हुए गिरफ्तार किया गया है। तो ये सीबीआई ने ठीक किया है और इसको सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए ताकि एक मिसाल भी बन सकें।
Sri Lankan Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa will today arrive in New Delhi on a 5-day state visit to India. During the visit, the Sri Lankan Prime Minister will hold talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and will call on President Ramnath Kovind. During the visit, a host of issues will come up for discussion, including details of projects to be taken up under a fresh $450 million credit announced by India during President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's visit last November. The two sides are also expected to discuss the key areas under the defence and maritime security initiatives that include Sri Lanka-India Annual Defence Dialogue and the trilateral maritime security cooperation with India and the Maldives. This is the first visit of Prime Minister Rajapaksa abroad since he took over the post in last November and is indicative of the continuous high-level engagement between the two neighbours. All the 645 evacuees from Wuhan in China have tested negative for novel coronavirus. In addition, 510 samples have been tested by ICMR network laboratories, out of which all have tested negative except for 3 already reported positive. The 3 positive cases are clinically stable. As on 6th of February, 138,750 passengers from 1,265 flights have been screened for novel coronavirus. However, no new case has been detected so far. Community surveillance and contact tracing is being held by IDSP for 6,558 persons across 32 states and union territories. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, in coordination with central ministries and all states and union territories, is taking adequate measures for management of novel coronavirus in India. In case of fever, cough and symptoms of pneumonia, seek medical attention immediately. For any technical query on 2019 novel coronavirus, call the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare helpline at 011-239-78046 or send an email at ncov2019@gmail.com. And the death toll due to coronavirus rose to 638 globally, including 1 death in Philippines. Majority of the deaths came from Hubei, the epicenter of the outbreak, where 69 new fatalities from the epidemic were reported on Thursday. Newly confirmed cases rose by 3,143, bringing the total to 31,211 cases in the country. Around 240 cases have been confirmed abroad. Meanwhile, there were 387 new recovered cases on Thursday, bringing the total cured patients so far to 1,542. Meanwhile, Japan has found around 41 additional coronavirus cases on board the cruise ship Diamond Princess, carrying over 3,700 people, bringing the total number of infected on the ship to 61. The new cases on the Diamond Princess brings Japan's total number of confirmed cases to 86, which is the second highest figure after China. Japan has donated $10 million to WHO funds to support countries with weak health systems. US President Donald Trump has confirmed that US forces had killed the leader of jihadist group Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula in Yemen. A White House statement said, at the direction of President Trump, the United States conducted a counter-terrorism operation in Yemen that successfully eliminated Qasim al-Rimi. Rimi was a founder and the leader of Al-Qaeda in Arabian Peninsula. He was the deputy to Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri. Under Rimi, AQAP committed unconscionable violence against civilians in Yemen and also sought to conduct and inspire numerous attacks against the United States and the allied forces. Trump has vowed that US will continue to protect the American people by tracking down and eliminating terrorists who seek to do us harm. AQAP claimed responsibility on Sunday for a December shooting at a US naval base in which a Saudi officer killed 3 sailors. And US President Donald Trump, facing a bruising re-election campaign and possible further investigations in Congress, celebrated his acquittal on impeachment charges on Thursday. Trump re-aired the old grievances and accused Democrats of staging a corrupt effort to undermine his presidency. He said that the acquittal was his biggest victory yet over his Democratic foes in Congress. President Trump also apologized to his family for the impeachment chaos. He brought his daughter, Ivanka, and wife, Melania, on stage to embrace them in an unusual show of public affection by Trump. The Republican-controlled Senate on Wednesday voted to acquit Trump on charges brought by the Democratic-led House of Representatives, only the third time in U.S. history that a president has been impeached. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will attend an event in Kokrajhar in Assam today to celebrate the signing of the Bodo Accord. Let's take you live to Kokrajhar now. And here we have immense crowd gathered there before the Prime Minister's arrival in Kokrajhar. And these are the celebrations marking the signing of the Bodo Agreement, which was historic. The agreement was signed between the centre, the Assam government and all the stakeholders on 27th of January. The Prime Minister will also address the gathering today in Kokrajhar. In fact, the Prime Minister also had tweeted wherein he said that the successful signing of Bodo Agreement not only brings to an end a problem that has been persisting for decades, but also it marks the start of a new era of peace and progress. Arun Bora is joining us. Kamal Bora is joining us to get us more on that. Kamal, in the visuals we're showing to the viewers, we see crowd of people gathered there, and the excitement, the enthusiasm is evident in the numbers there. Let us know the Prime Minister is to reach Kokrajhar around noon. Is the stage all set?
Yes, Prime Minister is to arrive at around 12 to 12:55 at the venue, and people are seem quite enthusiastic to receive him, because this is a accord which has, through which accord many issues of the old, 5 decades old issues have been tried to be sorted out through this accord, and political powers to be increased through this accord, economic power to be increased through this accord. So this is a great achievement, what people are taking in that way only, and that's why they are quite happy. Even we saw last evening that they lighten about 70,000 arden lamps to show the gratitude to the Prime Minister. Because of him only this accord has been come to Bogoland, and that is why people have shown their satisfaction over this accord, and they are quite happy to welcome him, and that's why we have seen people are thronging to the venue from the morning itself, and it's being expected that about 7 lakh people to be gathered there to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi today.
All right, Kamal, yesterday also we saw the Prime Minister speak in Parliament, and he talked of how the government had signed this Bodo Agreement, and this would indeed bring in transformative results for Bodo people, and it will usher in a new dawn of peace, harmony and togetherness. Now we see that this Bodo issue had been persistent for decades now, and already 2 accords had been signed. Why did it take so long? Because we know that before the Bodo Agreement was signed, there was also an effort by the centre to bring in the Bru people into the mainstream, and now we have this Bodo Agreement. So what do you make of this effort by the centre to include these people into the mainstream?
Yes, actually, the thing is that the way we have said, already 2 accords were signed, one in 1993 and one in 2003. But during those signing of those accords, it was not seem like the problems would be solved. But because there are lacuna, there are loopholes. That is why the Bodo people, they feel that they want one more accord, one more initiative from the center, to sort out their problems. And because they were not satisfied, they were not happy with those previous two accords. That's why they were demanding a separate Bodo state. Because they thought only with getting the separate state only their problems is going to be solved, but it didn't happen. But when Prime Minister Narendra Modi came in, he sat on the seat of Prime Minister. He and with the effort of Amit Shah, they tried to sort out this problem. We're maintaining the territorial integrity of the state. They have designed these accords such a way so that their problems can be addressed in a proper way with increased power. And it happened in reality. They designed this accord. Their economic power, their autonomy, economic autonomy has been given, political autonomy has been given, yes. And various other problems also try to be solved, because education, what Bodo people were demanding to preserve their own identity, own culture, their own language, everything. And through this accord with a package of 1,500 crore, various problems trying to be solved. There many institutes are being will be built up in Bodo areas. Sports institute, academic institute, financial institutes would be brought up there. So through all these initiatives, their problems are being tried to be solved. Why this has taken so long time? Because what they are saying, Bodo people are saying that previous governments, Congress, UPA government, they were not very willing. They were not willing to sort out this problem because their political motives might be behind this. But in a true sense, BJP government has tried to solve this problem, to bring peace in the area. That's why they have designed this accord, and they are quite happy now. Bodo people are quite happy with this accord.
Yes, and this excitement is evident in the visuals as well, Kamal, and also as we speak we're showing the glimpses of the performance which is going on there. And that was our correspondent Kamal Bora joining us and getting us more on the preparations, as we saw, are in full swing. The stage is all set there to welcome the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister will reach around noon, and here we have the huge crowd there gathered to express their gratitude and thankfulness to the Prime Minister once he reaches there for the Bodo Accord, which had been signed between the Centre Assam government and all the stakeholders on 27th of January. And we'll keep you updated